So just a few days ago, actually, I made a video about Ubisoft and their situation regarding how their finances are going and specifically how the stock is going for them. And as I mentioned a few days ago, it has been going down since 2021, but what was very interesting was that new Star Wars game came out, Star Wars Outlaws. So that came out about 10 days ago now, and that was supposed to be the big game that was supposed to turn things around for Ubisoft, but it did not do that. The sales projections of that game are fairly low now, and the stock has reflected that. Instead of going up, the stock has actually gone further down. That's why just in the last few days, it really going down. I mean, it was extremely concerning for Ubisoft and still continues to be concerning. So much so that now we've actually got further news about Ubisoft. I didn't think I'd be making another video about this so soon, but that is how concerning things really are. So it's now Monday. As you know, that means here in America, the stock market basically opens up after the weekend. Now, when I made that video at the end of last week, I talked about how the stock had gone down, I think over a few days, 10%. Well, now today, Monday, just within one, stock market day, apparently the stock has decreased another 7.13%. Now, that might not sound like much, but for Ubisoft, a company that's worth like over $2 billion, that is a lot, especially to lose in just one day. Now, there's something else going on too today, something else besides just the stock market going down. I wouldn't have made another follow-up video to this after just a few days just to say that the stock market is going down a little bit more. No, so apparently there actually has now been calls for Ubisoft to either privatize their company or sell their company. And this wasn't just by, one or two Redditors or people on Twitter. No, this was from a pretty big hedge fund in Slovakia named AJ Investments. Now, it's worth mentioning they don't own like half of the company. They actually hold a little less than 1% of Ubisoft's shares, so keep that in mind. But still, for a company as big as Ubisoft, 1% is still a lot. Now, they have issued an open letter today basically calling out Ubisoft, essentially saying that they have got two main options here, that they can either privatize or they can sell the company completely. Now, if you didn't know, when a big company like Ubisoft goes from public to private, that changes a lot of things up. Basically, when they are public, anybody and everybody can buy and sell stock, so anybody can really own a certain share of the company. It's really up to them, how much they want to buy from the company, how much they want to invest in. I can go, for example, and buy a private stock in Ubisoft or in Walmart, and any adult can. And hey, if I just have like $100 million lying around, I can invest that. And if the company's worth $2 billion, then all of a sudden I own, 5% of the company? So that's pretty simple. But when a company is private, they don't allow people to buy and sell shares of the company. It's all private investments. Basically, the company would be delisted from the stock market, and only a small group of private investors would have control over that company. Now, that is to show really how bad things have gotten at Ubisoft, that a big hedge fund is actually saying that they need to consider either doing this or selling off the company completely. Making a company private isn't necessarily by itself a bad thing. It's not like declaring bankruptcy or something like that. In fact, some companies can have benefits from going private, obviously. Otherwise, there would be no benefit in doing it in the first place. But clearly, this means that things are not going good at all right now, as things are with the company being public. This is just not a great sign. Now, something else interesting is that AJ Investments also suggested that Ubisoft focus more on their core IPs. I kind of couldn't believe, by the way, that a big investment firm was recommending this, but I loved it. Yeah, they said that Ubisoft right now is focusing more on short-term finances and not so much long-term, mainly having to do with the long-term gamer satisfaction. Are people enjoying our games? Do they want to come back for more? And I really like that as a gamer. I mean, I think anybody should hear that and actually love that. Because, not everybody wants to play a live service game. I know that's what a lot of big gaming companies are focusing on right now, but sometimes it's like, hey, where's the Rayman IP? Or even, hey, how are they treating the Assassin's Creed franchise? Are they just treating it now like Call of Duty? It's just a recycled game every year? Or are we actually putting quality into all of these games? These are the things that AJ Investments are actually seeming to point out, so that's pretty cool. So overall, this is not good for Ubisoft at all to hear this. They had another terrible day with the stock market, and things are just getting so bad. I even saw something today that X-Defiant is actually giving out free money, like free in-game currency to buy their cosmetics at the end of their season 1 just to get more people to play the game. I don't know, it's too bad. I mean, hopefully if Ubisoft does go private, they could see some sort of an advantage from it. There could be a lot of different ways that could go. Things could get worse or things could get better. And I also still have to wonder, I mean, what if Ubisoft was sold? What if some big investment firm or a big gaming company like Microsoft or or I don't know, Nintendo or PlayStation bought them out. It could go a lot of different ways, but I really do like to hear that even investors are wanting Ubisoft to focus more on the quality of their IPs.